Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to make this? Let's do it. Hi, welcome to Our Family Bee. I'm Brigitte, and today I want to share with you a secret. Come closer. A little bit closer. A little bit. Okay, too close. All right. Today I'm sharing with you a recipe, and it's a breakfast recipe. I use it to meal prep every week. I've been making it for the past month, and it's completely customizable. You can make it keto, you can make it dairy-free, you can make it gluten-free, you can make it vegetarian. As long as you can have eggs, you can have this recipe. Are you ready to know what it is? Okay, let's go. Before I get into this breakfast recipe, go ahead and subscribe down below, right now, here. And make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss anything else coming out. Also, check out our Instagram at Our Family Bee Social, and we have a blog. It's ourfamilybee.com. The recipe will be posted on there. Let's get into the video. You are gonna need a few basic ingredients. Number 1, eggs. Number 2, heavy whipping cream or any nut milk of your choice. I've made it with almond milk and heavy whipping cream, and even half and half. All works fine. I don't really see a difference. So if you can't have dairy, go with the nut milk. And you will need your fillings. For this one, I used breakfast sausage, a frozen mix of peppers and onions that were already diced up. In the past, I have used fresh chopped onions, fresh bell peppers, mixed vegetables, broccoli, basically any veggies that you want to use, get those out. And my secret ingredient, are you ready for it? It's shredded cabbage. I know, who would think to put that in a breakfast casserole? But it's so good, it's filling, it makes it so that you can do it keto, it gives it some more bulk, and you really don't even see it or taste it because when everything melts together and you add in the eggs, it's amazing. Also, you're gonna need cheese. I usually use a couple different types, and this really adds a depth of flavor. So in this one I used mozzarella, cheddar, and cubed Romano cheese. I got goat cheese from Walmart and it was already expired, like 3 weeks before the date I got it. So I called, they refunded, but I was gonna use goat cheese. Now I'm using cubed Romano, which is still amazing. And as a little something extra, I like to put a sauce on top. My favorite is sriracha. Also, I've used buffalo, and there's a cilantro cream sauce that I've used from Costco, also very good. Step number 1 is to brown the breakfast sausage on medium-high heat. My tip here is to use a big pot, because this way nothing is going to spill out, especially when you add the other ingredients like the vegetables and the cabbage. As you're browning that, step number 2 is to grease a 9x13 baking dish. Here I used coconut oil on a paper towel and just rubbed it all around. I have also used cooking spray when I'm trying to do it in a real hurry. Anything that will keep this from sticking to the dish, you can use that. Step number 3, when the breakfast sausage is almost done cooking all the way through, you're going to add the frozen vegetable portion. So in this case, I used frozen peppers and onions. I've also used mixed vegetables. I've also used broccoli. You can use riced cauliflower. Basically any vegetables that you want, you can put in. I cooked the peppers and onions for 3 to 5 minutes until they got a little tender and translucent, and then I added the cabbage. After I mixed it all together, I put the lid onto the big pot, which is also why I use a pot instead of a pan. After I cover it, I preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, I forgot, you need bacon. I mean, if you're vegetarian, then you don't need bacon, but if you're not, you need bacon. So what I did for this recipe is I made the bacon the same day. Sometimes I use bacon that I've already cooked and it's been in the fridge and I just cut it and crumble it on top. But for this, it worked out really well because while you're preheating the oven to 400 degrees, put all the slices of bacon on a baking tray on aluminum foil, put it in the oven as it's preheating, and cook it for 20 minutes or so until it gets crispy, which is about the time it takes to prepare the rest of the dish. So as soon as you take the bacon out, you can chop it up, put it on the casserole that you've already assembled, and pop it back in the oven. We are saving oven time, people. I like to be efficient, you know what I mean? While the bacon is cooking and your pot is done cooking all of the ingredients, take your pot and you're going to pour everything into the baking dish that you've already greased. Step number 9 is whisking eggs. So in this recipe, I used 14 eggs and I added some heavy whipping cream. I used a splash, I don't know, 1/4 cup to 1/3 cup. Just gives it a little extra volume and makes it go a little farther, plus it makes it a little fluffier. And I've also used nut milk, like I said, and I have found not much difference. So if you can't have dairy, this is a good option. Crack 14 eggs, whisk it all together, and you're going to pour that on top of the mixture that's already in there. And after I've dumped it all in, I make sure to push the whisk down into the mixture to make sure the egg gets really incorporated into the other ingredients. Step number 11 is to sprinkle some more cheese on top. Here I also add some salt and pepper to season the eggs a little bit, and finally top it with some chopped bacon. Now it's time to put it in the oven. The oven should be at 400 degrees, and I cooked this for about 30 minutes. Sometimes I check it at 30 minutes and see if it needs a little bit longer. When you cut it with a knife, you just want to make sure that it looks juicy but not liquidy inside. After you pull it out, it's gonna firm up still because it'll be so hot that it's still cooking. So just make sure there's not some runny liquid inside. It should look like bubbly goodness. Oh my gosh, this recipe is so good. I've made it so many different ways, and that's what's great about it, is that I don't feel like I'm eating the exact same thing every week because I can change out the ingredients to whatever I want or to whatever I have on hand. So it's a very frugal breakfast option. Cool it on the counter before you put it in the fridge, and you can store it in there for a week. If you're a big family, you can double this and use it all in one day, but I use it as a meal prep, and I heat up a slice in the microwave every morning. Top it with some sriracha or any salsa or sauce of your choice, and oh, it's just so good. If you make this, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to know how you make it, what vegetables you use, if you do anything different. If you have another breakfast recipe that you have been loving, please let me know that too, because I'm always on the lookout for new ideas. If you want to see a written out recipe for this, go check out our blog at ourfamilybee.com. Until we meet again, don't forget, life is better together.